Tigers win in extras. Thatcher Hurd coming in, and not necessarily getting off to a hot start, giving up a home run to Murillo, then giving up a home run to Anderson to tie the game in the ninth. But then he comes back in the bottom of the 10th, gets a single, then a 6-4-3 double play, then a strikeout, then comes into the 11th. 1, 2, 3. Thatcher Hurd then comes into the 12th. 9 batters up, 9 batters down. What a hell of a performance by Thatcher Hurd. It's a hell of a performance. Look, the only thing that you can take away from this game, the biggest thing, at least that I take away from this game, is the simple nature how much you just battled, right? Like, listen, it didn't go your way. Thatcher Hurd came in the bottom of the 8th. He got a strikeout, a walk, a fielder's choice, and then the pop fly. Then came in, gave up the home runs. Guys, he pitched. Let's call it what it is. What is that? Let's see, 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 innings of baseball. Man, that's a great performance. Then you have great performances by guys like Hayden Travinski. Hayden did strike out a time or two, I think at least once I remember off the top of my head, but comes up with a massive home run to break the tie and then gets the double in the bottom of the 12th. And how about your man from the 3-1-8? How about the man from the 3-1-8? Josh Pearson, his first home run of the season, absolutely unloads on a fastball, 2-run home run. So listen, we got a lot to talk about here tonight. A lot to talk about here tonight in this game. You just need one more. Guys, listen, do any of you remember the movie Rookie of the Year with Henry Rollingardner? And the manager for the Cubs is in the pen. Give me one more. Guys, you need one more win to be a top 8 national seed. You need one more. Give me one more. Massive, man. Massive. Thatcher Hurd in the 12th gets 2 strikeouts, and against Charlie Condon, who, by the way, might be the best freshman in the country. Guys, he's hitting 400. He was coming in on a 10-game hit streak, and he didn't get a hit tonight. So we got a lot to break down. Listen, we're going to say this every time he comes up to the plate. Every time he comes up to the plate, we're going to say this every time this man pitches. Paul Skenes, man. Paul freaking Skenes. What an outing by Paul Skenes. And then I got people in the DMs like, oh, Mr. Blake, he gave up 2 runs. And winning does cover a multitude of sins. There were some things tonight that didn't go your way. You cannot, in extra innings, with 1 out and the bases loaded, get no runs. That can't happen. But like we mentioned, what a performance on how to fight back. Look, your team has been in a slump. I mean, you saw what happened the last 2 at-bats for Dylan Cruz. We're going to talk on Dylan Cruz tonight. We have not mentioned him really at all. I hadn't said anything about a slump. We hadn't talked about it. We'll talk about it here tonight. But, man, listen, your entire team went up against Mississippi State last weekend, the worst team in the SEC. You lost. And then with everybody chirping, myself included on some decisions, this team came out and fought. But you cannot leave the bases loaded. So we're going to break it all down. here tonight. Let's get to a couple comments, though, before we get rolling. Rob Boudreaux says this team needs help. Well, I'm not going to disagree with you. I don't disagree with Rob there. I like the fight. You need one more. That's it. Give me one more. Justin says, but wait, Jordan Thompson is the best shortstop in the country. All right, so let me go on a little bit of a rant here, okay? Let me go a little bit of a rant here. Name or show me one time that anybody that covers LSU, myself included, has come on their shows, gone on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, wherever, and said that he was the best in the country. He missed a pop fly. I get it. Then he couldn't find the other one, and Dugas bailed you out. I get it. It's that could have really hurt you. I'm with you. I understand it. He also made 3 major league type plays tonight. Oh, and by the way, he hit 2 home runs to the opposite field. He has double-digit home runs on the season. I get what you're saying. I understand it. But he made some really clutch plays in the field tonight. It is amazing to me. It is amazing to me what some people choose to make their arguments. We have 5 pages of notes. We chart the game every week. Jordan Thompson is not the reason you've been losing. And hell, you hadn't lost a lot this season to start off with. You won your 41st game tonight. Where does this come from? Does it come from people with high school chin straps as a beard? Like, where does this come from? I don't understand it. Tyler Townsend says that bottom of the order bailed us out. Yeah, they did. Jordan Thompson bailed you out multiple times. So did Travinsky. Let's look at the 12. Travinsky doubled, then a wild pitch, and then Pearson comes up with a 2-run home run. Then Jordan Thompson hits a bomb cling with ground out to the shortstop. Milazzo fly out to right field. Napolt would single and a line drive to right. Morgan hit by pitch, and then Cruz would strike out. Then you go to the bottom of 2 early in the game. Travinsky and Beloso strike out, but then Jordan Thompson walks, steals 2 bases. Joe Bear would hit a 2-run home run to start the game off. The bottom of the order really helped you out because the top of the order did not do anything. I don't even know. Now, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong here. Did 1 through 4 get a hit tonight? I don't believe that they did. Now, y'all in the chat can bean count me on that one. I'm not sure if the top of the lineup 1 through 4, hell, really even got you a hit tonight. I don't see one. Oh, no. Here's Cruz. What am I thinking? Cruz hit a home run later in the game. That's so stupid for me. So stupid by me. Top of the 9th, Cruz hit that home run into the left center field. What an idiot. What an idiot by me. So dumb. Holden Lee says, way to come up clutch, Josh Pearson. What are you doing, Zach? First bomb of the year came perfect. Also, Joe Bear is torching the ball. Yes, he is. Eric says 8 runs scored on 5 home runs tonight. Next time we need just a little bit more timely hitting would be nice with men on base. Yeah, like I mentioned, you just cannot leave the bases loaded with 1 out in extra innings. You can't do it. Justin says that's over 50 errors in 3 years, by the way. I get it. Well, hold on. I don't believe that. Can you prove me? Hold on. 50 errors in 3 years? I'm cautious. I'm cautious to call BS on that, but I'm going to need to see that. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. And then you don't say, like, why do you scared the shit out of me? Why the hell do y'all come in here when you battle all game long and want to talk about Jordan Thompson? I don't get it. Grow up. Like, is that what has to, does that need to be said? Grow up. Father Abear says the JJ hate has to come from the fact that he isn't exactly a clone of Bregman, therefore he's not worthy. It's ridiculous. Yeah, Zach, we're not talking about your internet. You came into the show and you were on the screen. You're on the screen. That's not all we're talking about tonight. It's not all we're talking about tonight. LSU got a massive, I hit down, Pooh, and Zach, like I was hitting down on the table, and I hit the Mike Jones, scared the absolute shit out of me. Literally, I pooted. Pause, just a joke. Guys, it's just a joke. But I scared shit out of myself. All right. Andre Sam also commits to LSU, the safety from Marshall. Guys, I think that that's a massive pickup. I think that that's a massive, massive pickup. So we'll touch on that here tonight. Kevin Dunn says 41 errors, Blake. I should have called BS. Matt says, unreal, this fan base. Yeah, I don't get it. Like, I legitimately don't get it. I don't get it. Anthony Saint says, damn, y'all pissed Blake off. Yeah, it pisses me off. Like, grow up. Grow up. Pooh says, words of advice, don't trust your fart after 30. It's true. All right, massive show in here for you tonight. All right, let's do this. Let's talk about our good friends over at betonline.ag. Guys, we're turning right around. Do us a favor, though, before we get to the break. Talk about our good friends over at BetOnline. Do us a favor. Hit the like and share if you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube. Like, share, notification bell, all that good stuff, wherever platform you're on. Hit the retweet button if you're on Twitter with us. I got some big news coming up. If you want some LSU Saints tickets, Pelicans tickets, or you want some Fanatic stuff, you want some gear, we're going to have it for you here in the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned for that. So hit the like and share. Let's talk about our good friends over at BetOnline. We're back very soon. We got a lot to discuss. We talk about it next. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way for you to wager on all of your favorite sports, contests, events, with the first-to-market odds and lines. Find reviews for all the news for each league, including Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, NHL, combat sports, college sports, esports, and even golf. BetOnline continues to be the top online resource for all of your sports information for live in-game betting, props, and futures. Head on over to BetOnline today and use your mobile device to join and make your first sports bet. Use our promo code BELIEVE50, that's BELIEVE50, BLEAV 50, to receive your 50% off welcome bonus on your first deposit. That's betonline.ag, betonline.ag. We're back. Billy in the text line, the AYS text line, you can text into the show, says, Blake, I'm laughing so let me read this. Blake, I'm laughing so hard. Why do you have to yell in my ear like that? Well, I mean, come on, man. I mean, Jordan Thompson hits 2 home runs tonight. He makes 1 error. I understand it. Almost made 2. He can't find the baseball. You get out of it, though, because his fifth-year senior second baseman bails you out of it. You get out of it. He made massive plays tonight. Remember the one that was in the hole, and he hits the backhand on the knee, pops up, throws it to first on a frozen rope, and Kay Beloso scoops it up at first like a vacuum cleaner. I was trying to think of the vacuum cleaner. The Orkins. Pooh, wasn't it called the Orkin vacuum cleaner? Remember the people would come to your door, knock on your door. It was like 5 pounds. It was gray. Y'all know the vacuum cleaner I'm talking about. Dyson. Thank you. Why am I thinking of Orkin? Like, I don't know. But Jordan Thompson had more pop in his bat tonight. Jordan Thompson had more pop in his bat tonight. You could call him Oral Redenbacher. You could call that man Oral Redenbacher with the pop that he had in his bat tonight. Let's talk on this, though. Look, let's get this out of the way. Get it out of the way. Dylan Cruz is in a semi-slump. I don't really even know what you want to call it. But just to get this completely out of the way, I have no right, zero right, to go up to Dylan Cruz and tell Dylan Cruz to do anything at the plate. None. Zero. Zilch. Nada. But man, he saw in those last 2 at-bats some lollipops up there. I don't know if you're Jay, if you just don't go up to him like, man, look, be aggressive early in the count. Like, you're Dylan Cruz, man. Like, make him want to throw you a fastball. Take one of those off-speed pitches like you did earlier in the game and send it to Mars. Here's the problem with having that thought or that take. The dude's still hitting like 450 or 440, whatever it is. Right? So it's so tough. It's so tough. All right, so let's get into it. Look, there's good and bad in this game. I don't really want to focus on all the bad, although I will say that wins like tonight can cover up for a multitude of sins. This game could have gone completely different. What's interesting is Jay did the same substitutions last week against Mississippi State, which backfired on him, which tonight he did, and it didn't. Now, luckily, Ben DePaul would take a 4-pitch walk. He would get the first, but it wouldn't result into anything. Dylan Cruz would come up and strike out with the bases loaded, and then Tommy Tanks would hit the ball right back up the middle, and you got to tip your cap sometimes, and Georgia made a great play to get out of that inning. But I just love the fight that you had tonight. You know, look, this team has gone through a lot. They have lost back-to-back SEC series. They hadn't lost a series all season long, but they lose to Auburn. They lose to the worst team in the SEC in Mississippi State. And tonight you find yourself in a dog, and literally, pun intended, with the University of Georgia, you find yourself in a dogfight. And you got to give it to them, man. Look, Georgia came back fighting in the ninth. Thatcher Hurd, who was exceptional later throughout that game. But you got to give Thatcher Hurd a lot of credit, but everybody on the team kept battling. He gives up 2 home runs. LSU responds. They go out fighting. And there is one adjustment that I just wanted to see. I don't like that he gave up those 2 home runs in the ninth. I hate it. I hate it. You should have ended the game there. You know what I do like, though? I would rather, personally, I would rather be in a situation where at least they're hitting the home run off of you and you're not walking guys and walking runs in. I don't want to see that. Right? I don't know how you guys feel, but I just don't want to see that. He gives up 2 home runs, but like we mentioned at the start of the show, Thatcher Hurd comes in, 9 up, 9 down. 9 batters walk up to the plate. He gets 9 straight outs, or 9 outs, I should say, because there was a single in there. But turns right around, gets a tailor-made ground ball, 6-4-3. You would get out of the inning, and he had some massive strikeouts in there too. I don't know what to make of Thatcher Hurd. He's been good and decent at times out of the pen, but as you saw last weekend, he's had times as well where he hasn't been. It's like the Eminem song. Will the real Thatcher Hurd please stand up? Tonight, you got to give him his flowers. because he was exceptional. He was exceptional. Guys, you don't score. This is how, when you go in the extras, this is what LSU did. You go in the top of the 10th. Marsh comes in for Georgia, and he strikes out the side. Travinsky, Pearson, and Thompson, bam, 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 all strike out. You come into the top of the 11th. Joe Bear's hit by a pitch. Milazzo would sack bunt, which the stupidest thing I've ever heard. # never bunt. That is so ridiculous. Napolt would come in for Dugas. He would walk. Morgan would walk, and then Cruz would strike out. And then, as we mentioned, White would hit into the fielder's choice and the great diving play by Georgia. So you have 2 innings. Really, I guess you could talk about I don't want to say 3 because in the top of 9, Dylan Cruz hit that home run to give you a little bit of cushion, but it didn't last. You go into the top of extra innings both times, you just can't. You can't even do anything. You have the bases loaded. You don't generate any runs until you get to the top of the 12th. Thatcher Hurd did more than his job. He was a key component, if not, you want to say a key component to winning this game. That's why he gets to win. In the 12th, as we mentioned, Travinsky comes in with a double. Then Pearson hits a home run. Thompson hits a home run. And then you're off to the races. But this game is so long, and the game started, at 5? Guys, that was damn near a 4-hour game. Can't say enough about Paul Skenes. Cannot say enough about your ace, Paul Skenes. Another night where he has double-digit strikeouts. He had 12 tonight. And I think what he started the game with 79. So what did he have? 86 innings on the year. Guys, he might get 200 strikeouts and 100 innings pitched this season. He's on that track. He's phenomenal, man. Now you go into the rest of the weekend, Friday and Saturday. Can Ty Floyd produce enough? Can your bullpen hang on? Can you hang on and win one more? That's all you need. Guys, I'm telling you, if you go 20-10 in the SEC, if your SEC record is 20-10, you're going to be a top 8 national seed. You might even be 8. I don't even care at that point. Wouldn't even care. You need to get one more. As the regular season is dwindling down here, you have 2 more games. 2. Go out and win one of them. Do what you have to do to get one more. And then I will be real with you. I know that there's been a lot of people that don't think that this team could get past the regional, can't get past these supers. I'm not going to argue with you on that, but I do feel really good if you have a regional and super regional in Baton Rouge. Anything can happen when you have a home crowd behind you cheering you on. Gives you a better chance. So shout out to a lot of these guys tonight. Top of 3. I remember the top of 3, man. You know, like you have multiple times, like Morgan has a single, Cruz gets on base with I think it's a walk. I put a W here. I don't know why, but Morgan gets out at home. There are multiple times you could have ended this game in 9, but you had to fight through 12 and you got out of there. And the question becomes is if this Thatcher Hurd is who you get for the rest of the season, guys, you can do some really special things. The question is how can he stay consistent? I don't know. Let's get to a couple comments in here. Rachel Granger says 12-inning game and LSU only burned 2 arms. Well, technically 3, but you're right. I mean, Cooper did come in for that one. But she says that's huge. How many arms did UGA use? I think 5. 4 or 5. Finley came in. They had Evans that started the game. You had Marsh, and then you had the two guys there at the end. So, yeah, they went through some arms. No doubt. Bayou Bengal 84 on YouTube says, I think we need to steal more like Thompson did. Well, I do think that Thompson was reading something off that pitcher because if you remember, Georgia's pitching coach came out there and told Evans, the starting pitcher, something. Thompson was running on first movement. He saw something. Jake Roberts says LSU needed to win a game like this. Huge confidence booster at the perfect time. Very much could be. Very much could be a confidence booster. You hope so. You'd hope so. Holden Lee says, Hurd going several innings saved our arms too. UGA used a lot more arms. It's true. I think that it's pretty much what everybody's saying in the comments here tonight. Dennis York on YouTube says, quit looking, start hacking. So wild, man. Because, look, I don't know about you. I just don't feel like I have the right. To come out here and start saying crazy things about Dylan Cruz when a guy's hitting 440. Is he going through a little bit of a slump? Yeah, he hit a home run tonight. But you just can't go down looking. I would rather the approach like Tommy Tanks. Tommy Tanks is a missile back up the middle. They make a great play. Make them make those plays. Make them make unreal and uncanny plays. You gotta get the bat off your shoulder. And me even saying that, I'm like, do you think Dylan Cruz doesn't know that? He definitely does know that. That's not any. I don't think that's anything new. Jake says Hurd found himself tonight. Watch out. Well, look, as much as I want to agree with you, I want to see multiple outings of him doing that. Right? Like I want to see multiple outings of him doing that. He's had time. Look, he has had times where he has done things like he did tonight. Guys, what were y'all thinking in the ninth? Let's look at the bottom of the ninth. Murillo comes in for Georgia. Home run into right field. LaPlante comes in with ground out to short. Spikes comes in, flies out to Cruz. And then one of their really good hitters, and Anderson, comes up and hits a home run. And then you get out probably their best guy in Condon to end the game. To end the top of the ninth or bottom of the ninth. So, and all momentum was going in Georgia's favor too, because Marsh would come in for Georgia and strike out the side, almost in impeccable fashion. He almost had an impeccable inning. So the momentum had shifted. Dennis York said, Blake, you need to grab a Bud Light and change your mood. Change my mood about what? Change my mood about what? Would love to know what I need to change my mood about. How about y'all go over to somebody else's show who actually doesn't involve people in the comments, like fans in the comments, LSU fans in the comments, and tells you that you're imbeciles. They come on from 3 to 6. Because we don't have to bring in comments. Pooh Bear says he can hit the ball with his nose, and it wouldn't say shiznit if he over 4. Oh, yeah. I just don't feel like I have that right. Right? Like, can you critique Can you critique something? Yes. Right? Like, can you critique something that he's doing? Yes. I mean, like, for example, he's got to get the bat off his shoulders late in the game. I don't think that there's any argument about that. But it's just hard for me. It's really hard for me to come out here and start really criticizing at any great length Dylan Cruz, man. Richard Head on YouTube says, thank goodness for our friend Carol False and those three insurance runs in the bottom of the 12th with our bullpen. Go Tigers, baby. Let's get number 2 tomorrow. I agree. Rob Boudreaux says, Blake drinks Miller, the finest Pilsner in the world. It's true. They broke my heart, though. They broke my heart. Miller broke my heart. What are we doing? What are we doing? Chili says, Blake, are you going to talk about Andre Sam a little bit tonight? Absolutely. 1,000%. We about 3 or 4 more minutes. We'll get into it. Big J. Cole says, Stravinsky with the mustache power, mustache rod, hashtag Super Troopers. Massive, man. Look, he comes on late in the season and puts you in a situation where you can win. I mean, him coming in the bottom of the or top of the 12th and leading off with a double with no outs, wild pitch, he gets to third. I mean, I know that Pearson would come up right behind him and hit a home run. You can't replace that. And then as soon as I tweeted, if you can't score here, you don't deserve to win, Pearson hits a bomb. But it's true, though. If you would have had a runner on second that got advanced to third on a wild pitch with no outs and you don't score, you wouldn't have deserved to win that game. You wouldn't have deserved to hit that game. Cy Tate says, man, I have such a love-hate relationship with Thatcher Hurd. He did really, really well tonight other than that 9th inning. Yep. And look, some of those same moves that Jay Johnson literally, let's look at Saturday. Go back and look at Saturday. Hold on. Let's go back and look at Saturday, okay? Some of the same moves that you did against Mississippi State. Okay, you're up a run. Really close game. Does this sound familiar? Ackenhausen, who did not come in, but a lefty came in. So Ackenhausen came in last week out of the pen because no one came in for Skenes because you 10-run rolled them. He had gotten to the 7th. But the next time that you used the pen, a lefty comes out of the pen, so Cooper comes out, but Ackenhausen goes in and gives up 2 hits, or 1 unrun, 2 Ks. Thatcher Hurd comes in. You see where I'm going with this? So Jay's philosophy the last 2 weeks has been, I'm going to a lefty, and then here comes Thatcher Hurd. Thatcher Hurd would not record an out last weekend. He'd get 3 hits, 5 earned runs, and 1 strikeout. That's how it would go down. So that, for what it's worth, the same philosophy that he had last week, he did it again tonight, and it paid off for him. So that's baseball, man, right? Like, that's baseball. One weekend, it's going to absolutely suck. The next weekend, it's going to pay off for you. That's baseball. That is baseball. All right, a couple more, then we're going to get to some football stuff. Jake Roberts says, Blake, you do a great job with the show. Appreciate you engaging with us. It's fun. Thanks, man. Yeah, I'm not going to put up with, passive-aggressive stuff. Father Abear says, you wanted to see Hurd show some chest tonight. And I'm talking, Father Abear's talking about chest, like hair and everything. Jay said multiple times that he has to be a part of the winning formula, no doubt. Tonight we saw it. Now is the time for this time to get hot. I agree, Father. And forgive me for I have sinned. I got angry earlier today. Steph and our good friends over at Fry Construction out there in Eunice, give them a call if you need dirt services, whatever you need, man. They do it all. They just do it all. Demolition, all of it. Give them a call. They're out. Our guys are out there in Eunice. But he says, I agree with you, Blake. Nobody is worthy to talk about Cruz at the plate, especially anyone in the chat. Yeah, I don't feel like it's my place, man. I don't feel like it's my place. And like if he were 0 of 40, I'd be like, okay, man, maybe, yeah, but he's not. I mean, he hit a home run tonight. He just got to get the bat off. All right, last one, then we're going to transition to a little bit of football. Eric says, Blake, the only difference is, though, usually he would call a pitcher a lot sooner, but he let him pitch it out out of the situation, which I love. Yeah, he let him go, man. He let it go. I lied. Here's the last one. Father Abear, the AYS father, the priest, says there's such a thing as justified anger. Well, I hope I hope that's it. I mean, I know Jesus used to yell at the Pharisees like crazy. All right, let's do this. Let's transition, though, to a little bit of football because we have some news here that happened today. But before we do that, everybody do us a favor, though. If you haven't done so already, man, there's a lot of you joining us in here tonight. About 160 of you live with us right now on YouTube. Only 57 likes. We need 160 likes. It helps us with that algorithm. Hit that like and hit that share. But in case you missed the news today, LSU got massive news in the transfer portal and on the recruiting trail. Last night, if you were paying attention, now if you're subscribed to our forum, ayssnetwork.com, you saw this. But LSU got some massive news today and getting another defensive back. I'm going to show you this in case you missed it. But LSU got some massive news today when Andre Sam, the transfer safety from Marshall, committed. He is a two-time former All-Southland Conference first team, a DB at McNeese. Sam recorded 53 tackles and 5.5 tackles for loss this past season. One interception for the Thundering Herd. I just realized I spelled herd wrong. Sam has a career tackle total of 179, and he is from Iowa, Louisiana. Listen, we've brought in a lot of good players. LSU through the portal. Omar Spates, Jane Daniels a season ago. I think Denver Harris, Zy Alexander can be some really good pieces. Greg Brooks, Major Burns came back through the portal. You picked up Logan Diggs this week, the running back from Notre Dame. I really, really, really like this pickup by LSU. Just pop on the film. I don't have to go through the stats. I don't even know if I'm going to project him to be a starter. I think he can do some very interesting things in the nickel. Now, Pooh asked this question to a group of friends of ours earlier today. Can he play the nickel? Pooh, I'm here to tell you I think that he can. I really do think that Andre Sam can come in here and play the nickel. Now, is he going to be a man-to-man coverage? No, I don't think that that's his strength. I don't really think that that's his game. I think that he's labeled as a safety, but when you pop on his film, Notre Dame last year, so we talked about this a lot. I've made jokes about this, but being serious with this one, when Marshall played Notre Dame a season ago, he was all over the place. I think that I could make the argument outside of maybe Omar Spates, maybe Harold Perkins, but I still think this guy's up there. He might be the best tackler on your team right now. He might be the best tackler on your team. He's all over the field, man. Well, Blake, he only had 55 tackles from a safety. You're not wrong. You had a safety a year ago, I think. What did Jay Ward? Didn't Jay Ward get up in the 75 tackle range? You're right. But that's not his game. His game is playing up close to the line of scrimmage, attacking ball carriers, getting out in the flat, tackling guys in space. That is his game. You know, when I watch like a guy like C.J. Garner-Johnson, now I'm going to be careful because Andre Sam is not a C.J. Garner-Johnson in reference to coverage, but in reference to what C.J. Garner-Johnson for the Saints in Philly would do in the flats, man, they have a lot of similarities. When I look at him on film, I really, really like it. Now, can he come in and start? I don't know that. You got a lot of talented dudes in that room. You got a lot of talented DBs that have been projected as 5 stars, maybe are 5 stars, maybe are future NFL guys. Greg Brooks, Major Burns returns, Sage Ryan returns. Let's see if he can progress. But you do still have a lot of talent in that DB room. I like this addition. I know that LSU maybe didn't offer him out of the gate when he went in the portal from Marshall, but you got to remember his defensive coordinator that was at Marshall went to Tulane, and he followed his defensive coordinator back home to Tulane. Then, if you just give you a little bit of very recent history, but then Miami would hire Tulane's then defensive coordinator, and then he goes back in the portal. It was thought that he was going to Miami until guys like Frank Wilson and Sherman Wilson got back involved. And late last night, they closed the deal. That's twice in two times this week that they've closed in the portal. Now, I asked Wilson Alexander this last night, and I'm going to say it again here. I know that Frank Wilson doesn't have the title as recruiting coordinator anymore, but he is Mariano Rivera. He is Mariano Rivera. He is Chapman. Any closer that you want to name, that is Frank Wilson. And I want to limit expectations for Andre Sam. At the same time, I think this kid can really play. I tweeted out some film of him earlier today. I know that it's on his social media. If you don't believe me, go and look at it. Man, you're getting to a point where you're really deep. You're really deep at a lot of positions. I can't think of a position group right now that doesn't have some quality depth to it. We can go through it. Quarterback. You know what's there. The worst thing that can happen, God willing and knocking on wood, is Jane Daniels gets a little nicked up and Garrett Nussmeier comes in. I'm okay with that. Running back. You have quality depth, really good quality depth there. Wide receiver, now they led the SEC in drops, but there's a lot of talent there. What can Aaron Anderson do? We saw Kyron Lacey somewhat progress. Brian Thomas Jr. still has some very big freakish ability. You got dudes there, and Malik Neighbors is returning. Along the offensive line, you're pretty much returning everybody. Outside of Anthony Bradford, you are returning everybody, but you replace him. You got 2 guys that I feel comfortable enough with at the current moment that can play center. But you return your bookends, you return your tackles, and Will Campbell and Emory Jones. You get Mason Lunsford, who most people in that building believe is going to be a starter day one. You return a freshman All-American in Miles Frazier at left guard. Oh, and by the way, Lance Hurd is coming in. You know what the defensive line can be. You know what your pass rush can be with Harold Perkins, and hopefully Deshaun Womack meets that fold as a 5-star guy on the outside. Omar Speights was the best linebacker in the portal. I'm not going to say ever, but he's one of the best linebackers to ever enter the transfer portal. You got him. DB, where you have a lot of question marks, Andre Sam could answer some of those question marks here today. That's how high I am on him. Kid can really play, man. Kid can really play. And one thing that you know is, maybe has he some weaknesses in coverage. I'm right there with you. I can't disagree with that. The film doesn't lie. But that kid is a willing tackler. 2 seasons ago, I was told LSU was behind in NIL, and all of a sudden you end up with Denver Harris anyway. You're deep, man. A lot of quality depth. But in reference to today, Andre Sam to me is a massive pickup. Is Florida State and LSU a preview of a natty? Or is LSU and Florida State a playoff preview? Because I think that it is. I truly believe it has the potential to be a playoff preview. Getting Andre Sam and Logan Diggs only makes you better. It doesn't make you worse. Doesn't make you worse. All right. Comments flying in. Keep bringing in your comments. Keep throwing in those comments. And while you're doing that, hit that like and share. Richard Manning says, we have to remember that Kelly and company will change everything for many of these guys. Okay. Big J Cole says, hashtag ask Blake, if we go to the portal again, what position would you want to see? I don't think that there's anybody out there right now that you would go and get, not to my knowledge. Now, Keon Coleman was interesting. I want to be cautious in saying this. If you think that LSU didn't want Keon Coleman to come in on a visit and commit to LSU, you're wrong. I'm telling you, you're wrong. Sources. Maybe. I'm not even going to say center. You know what? Is there a kicker in the portal? Is there a kicker in the portal? Is there a Cade York out there? Is there a Cole Tracy out there? If there is, let me know. Kicker, punter? No, you don't need a punter. Brenlin was actually not that bad. Pooh Bear says, you definitely want Sam near the line of scrimmage. No doubt. No question. Imagine him on one side and Perk on the other edge. The kid can play, man. The kid can play. He is a willing tackler. And don't give me this. Don't give me this. Oh, Blake, he played in lower division. You're right. He did. What did he do against Notre Dame? If I'm not mistaken, he had 2 tackles at the line of scrimmage against a running back you literally just went and got in the open field by himself. Guy's got 100, damn near 200 career tackles, man. I think it's a good pickup, personally. Justin Knox says Florida State just got Keon Coleman. Yeah, we talked about that at pretty great length yesterday. We talked about that pretty big length yesterday. Stephen Young says, hashtag ask Blake, if you had your choice between Anderson or Coleman, who would you take? Anderson. Because I think that Anderson fits a need. I think Aaron Anderson fits more of a need, and he's going to be here for a minimum of 2 more years. So, and if you remember, look, 2 years ago, Aaron Anderson, like before, when Aaron Anderson was a 3-star, I would come on this show religiously and say, no, he's not. No, he's not. No, he's not. Then he decommits and then commits to Alabama and then gets the Bama bump. He gets the Bama bump. So, yeah. Bengal on YouTube says, do you think Jordan Travis is an elite quarterback? No, I do not. No, I do not. What did Pooh Bear say that technically Notre Dame is lower division? No. Man, they were at my throat today, man. Pause. They were at my throat today. They were on my throat. So let me get back to this question really quickly from Bayou Bengal 84 asking if it's a elite quarterback. So let me throw this out there. I'm a pretty big stickler on that kind of verbiage, right? Like I don't like when people use elite. You know who was elite? Joe Burrow. You know who was elite? Cam Newton, Tim Tebow. Who are some other quarterbacks we could throw in there or players we can throw in there? I think Tyrann Mathieu was elite. I have not seen that from Jordan Travis yet. I've not seen that from Jordan Travis. I know that Trevor, I mean, yeah, you could probably throw Trevor Lawrence in there. You could probably throw Trevor Lawrence in there. Justin Fields being another one. Connor Gilbreth. Yeah, I see somebody asking about the tight end, the JUCO tight end. Connor Gilbreth. That's going to be interesting, man. That's going to be interesting. Now, Connor Gilbreth, the JUCO prospect, has offers from Colorado, LSU, Miami, Mississippi State, and Washington. Should tell you a little bit about what people think of him. Said that he really wants to block. He could see a transition to tackle. He's got some years that he could play too. So maybe you add another piece there. And look, I feel pretty confident that you're going to add this kid, Connor Gilbreth. We'll see. It's a lot of tight ends, man. I don't ever remember. I don't ever remember having a tight end room this deep. I really don't. Brandon Reese says Bryce Young. Maybe. I guess so. I'm going to say one that's going to piss you off. Pooh's in there saying, don't say it. Blake, don't say it. I'm going to say it. Stequavius Bennett. Hey, man. Hey, now. I sound like Chris Blair. Hey, now. Hey, man. Stequavius Bennett now. Y'all be hating on that dude too much. Now y'all just getting ridiculous. Jason on Facebook says Jared Lorenzen. Hey now, big boy Jared Lorenzen. Steven says future insurance salesman Baker Stetson Bennett. Don't matter if he's selling insurance in a couple years. My man still won 2 national titles as a quarterback at Georgia. Y'all can listen to me. Listen to your boy. I would rather be selling insurance for the rest of my life and win 2 national titles as a quarterback like at LSU. Do you know how much money he can make in insurance in the state of Georgia? All he's got to do is call people and say, hey, this is Stetson Bennett. People gonna give him business. They are going to give that man business. Maybe not the business. Brandon Reese says, I'm interested to see what that D line will look like this year. You have some question marks, man. You do have some question marks that you got to find out. How healthy is Mason Smith? Has he rebounded from that knee? Mekhi Wingo, but Mekhi's talked about this with the media, I think, before they left for Africa on the LSU. Some LSU players went abroad. He said that I think he's okay. You do got some question marks. Jordan Jefferson being another one. He had some injuries. Fall camp's going to tell us a lot. When fall camp gets here, it's going to tell us a lot, man. And I'm looking forward to it, man. We're not that far away, man. We are not that far away. We just ain't. We just ain't. Don't talk bad about Hefty Lefty. Bless his soul. Rest in peace. R.I.P. R.I.P. You know, I probably shouldn't say this, but I know this for a fact because one of my really good friends played at Kentucky. Did you know that the entire football team that was on the team his senior year held an entire offense, held an intervention for him at his house a year before he died because some of the things he was doing. And look, everybody's like, well, he was just a big boy, and he was, but he was doing some really crazy things, man. Like, it was, God bless him. God bless him. And he had kids, he's got kids. All right, a couple more, then we'll get on out of here. Don't forget to hit the like and share. Travis on Facebook says, we need some Marcus Spears, Glenn Dorsey type of players on the D-line. Well, you could have one in Mason Smith. Stephen Young says Mason is locked in for the rematch against FSU. He can be locked in all he wants to. How's his knee going to hold up? If I could flip this big old ham hock up here, I'd show you my knee. With the patellar tendon graft. Doesn't matter. I mean, look, he's going to have to take some live bullets. He's going to have to take some live in-game hits. Nothing prepares you. Fall camp does not prepare you for live in-game hitting. It doesn't. I'm telling you. I've been there. It just does not prepare you for live in-game stuff. Pooh says, I think people are still sleeping on Mekhi Wingo, and I like it. Yeah. Somebody said something today about, he only had 4 sacks or 3 sacks, whatever it was. Yeah. Okay. Harambe? I don't know how to say it. Harambe? Am I saying that right? I almost said Humbra. Anyway, H on YouTube says Travis is definitely a top 10 quarterback right now in college football. No question. But being a top 10 college quarterback in college football right now does not make you elite. It doesn't make you elite. I don't think Jordan Travis is elite. What has he done to show me that he's elite? Harambe? Okay, a couple more, then we're going to get on out of here. It's getting kind of late. Bayou Bingo 84 says, I'd love to see Smith have a huge game against Florida State. I would too. I'd love him to see him have a huge game every game. I'd love to see him have a huge game every game. She. Come on, man. Jason says, we'll have Perk going this time. Travis will be running for his life. You hope so. All right, last one. Ray Powell says, with LSU, will LSU use more up-tempo this year and add depth on defense? Could possibly. I think that's a great question. Ray, I think that's a great question. You saw Jane Daniels really thrive in that, and LSU was pretty upfront of why they stopped doing it. I mean, we just don't have the depth to do it. And now that you do, I think that you will. Chili Vic says, #Ask Blake, I think Kelly can turn that JUCO tight end into an All-American. Ooh. Maybe. We'll have to wait and see. But I mean, look, the kid said that he would make a transition to tackle or guard. So if he wants to do that, it's gonna take him a minute. It'll take him a minute. All right. We'll see y'all tomorrow, guys. Y'all have a good one. Peace.